Good morning. Welcome to Options Center. This is a members video. We're taking a look at the tech market, and we talked in the Discord about a lot of indicators not validating these new all-time highs, this move, the pop from the election, the presidential election here in the United States, and to kind of, I guess, go over why I think FOMC is going to be the drop. Okay, and this is going to go along with the overall market analysis too, because the market, I'll talk about the VIX and where I think SPY is going to pop to today. It might get a little bit of a little correction, a whipsaw, but we're looking for a divergence on the 65. So anyway, too much said. We're going to focus on tech here and just on the weekly time frame, because this next move, the next direction with the reversal, is going to be pretty hectic, and there's going to be some damage done. So, and I think it will happen pretty swiftly. So I haven't closed any of my positions. I know that some of them are just the near term that I took for Monday or so. We would have to have a huge move on Friday to the downside for any of those to really make anything. But okay, so let's jump into it. We have QQQ. We see we're making new highs here. We're going to focus on the standard indicators here. I do use specific levels, specific numbers on my indicators. So if you want to copy those, that's fine. You just go into them and change those. Okay, so simply here on the MACD, we have an uptrend. We broke that uptrend. We're headed to the downside now. We have negative divergence just as of yesterday, just as of the election results. From this high to the new high that we have, we now have negative divergence. That's huge. That's a huge thing. I didn't think it would happen for tech because I didn't think we were going to make a new high. We did. We got the divergence. Another divergence. We now have a 3-peak on the RSI. We have a sell signal, early sell signal on a slow stoke. So that's one way. But even taking off the indicators and going to the semiconductors, that's a divergence in itself. We're making a lower high. That's not going to get new highs, okay? The lower high made, I don't know if we'll get past this high here, and we'll go through it on the next video. This could be just an expanded flat, but if price wants to pop up and this helps the market get to its final level, then so be it. But it would just be a lower high here. And so that just by itself, some people use like the Dow theory, for example, and they look up the $ DJT, and they say, oh, well, we haven't made new highs in the Dow Jones transports, but in the Dow Jones DIA ETF, we have, or YM on the futures, we're constantly making new highs. So that's the same example. This is a negative divergence. SMH leads the tech market. Now it's going to lead it to the downside. All right, so indicators here aren't going to say a whole lot. We had our negative divergence back earlier already for the breakdown. Now we're just going to go around the big tech stocks here. So Apple had a high and eked out a brand new high here just by a few pennies. So you have a double top so far, and with negative divergence happening also in the RSI. We already had a negative divergence and a sell signal for Apple. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. Amazon, same thing. We had our high forming divergence already and now made brand new highs, all-time highs. Not confirming. 3-peak. Okay, sell signal back test for slow stoke. Tesla, kind of anomaly, so I'm not sure about this one. It's having a breakout, an inverse head and shoulder breakout. So perhaps this actually is the one that leads the market a little bit higher. We're at resistance. Let's see where we close. This one, I'm just not looking to short. Now, you could argue that there's negative divergence coming from this, and if we do exceed the high from right here in July of last year, then maybe you could argue that a negative divergence would be there. But in the near term, created an RSI. Okay, so maybe we just get a pullback here and continue higher, but this is above the 200, and this is a massive structure that possibly could lead to new highs. I have a separate video for that, and I'll post it above if you haven't watched it yet. So there's two scenarios that we're looking at going into the election, and they're both playing out. It's just a matter of one making a new high and one making a lower high. Okay, Meta making brand new highs here, not here. Okay, negative divergence again, sell signal. Nvidia made new highs recently. All right, negative divergence, three peak, boom, boom, boom. Not a sell signal on the slow stoke yet, but that will change pretty soon here. Google already made its high back there, so I'm not sure if this is going to make a new high over here, or if you can also draw a downtrend line. Maybe it's just retesting the downtrend and rejects off of there. So that would fit the scenario. We'll see. Again, made its peak. Now is trying to cross, but is oversold already. Okay, so we had our sell, kind of back testing here. We'll see what happens at this point. This one's not as clear as the others, but right now on the lower time frame, all we're doing is making a 786 retracement from this high to this high now. So it really, that's a 1-2 setup in itself. You have a 1-2, 1-2 setup. Microsoft, divergences. I came in a little too close there. Can't see it. Making divergence the whole way, right? And then started to play out, broke down from its bearish rising wedge, and it's just bear flagging. You see it's going nowhere. So this, again, could be just a bear flag, and we continue lower at this point. Already had its negative divergences play out. So if you were bullish, obviously, you could see this both ways, setting up for another bull run or whatnot. And then same thing with Google, if it starts to break out, but not too much argument from the rest there. So that's all I really have to show on these. I just want to give a quick look at these things are breaking down. They've had astonishing moves, and they just need to correct. Even if you're, for example, on Microsoft, even if you're, bullish, maybe this thing just needs to come back to the 345 breakout. Okay, just backtest the breakout. We'll see. This has to break down from the 50-week moving average, but we'll see from there. And I'll just give you one or two examples of a near term, kind of what this looks like, and they're pretty much all the same. Just breaking down from its wedges levels. And this one in particular, Apple seems to be wanting to lead, and I think this is a 1-2-1. It broke down from its wedge, and I think it's just bear flagging right here. And this is how I would count it at this point. Looks like we have a 1-2, and now we're just into the lower degree 5-wave move down. So we have a 1, 2, 3, and wave 4, and this is a line in the sand, the 226. So from the top of wave 2 to the bottom of wave 3, and you know what? I already see what I did here. This is kind of just a little bit different. This is just a wave 4. It's expanded. I want to get this right for you, sorry. Okay, so we're counting from the top of this wave 2 here into the bottom of wave 3, and we're talking about in white. Okay, so you have this sequence done already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was an expanding move where the extension is in wave 5. Okay, and that was just wave 3, and now we're getting wave 4, which is stuck underneath the 382. That would be our maximum point of a wave 4. So if price goes up to the wave up to this 50%, we're just going to have to count it a different way. It would be a different type of move. But so far this is just a flag pattern, and then we break down for wave 5. And again, wave 5, they're massive with Apple. So you see 3 is not the shortest. Wave 5 has the extension. That could happen again here too. So this could be a pretty large move to the downside. I'm not going to anticipate where that's going to be. Amazon, and then we'll send this video out so you can get it. Amazon forming a wedge as well. You can draw this. I have all the smaller ones on the daily time frame. I have the actual wedge pointing up here. It's more of a channel, I should say. Let's see if we can draw one in real quick. From low to low and to the highs there. Yeah, so you have some room up here if you wanted to, but whole point is you have those divergences, and now we're after this correction here, you have the extensions. Okay, now that it made new highs, it's coming into the extensions. So this has a little bit of room to go while these divergences form, and I think this could be the target up here. And again, if something happens, it can go further. Just like on SPY, I thought we were going to make it to this point and turn. You still have targets higher at the 231. It's possible. This thing is at all-time highs. We'll see, but you see kind of my argument of what's happening here. So I'm going to let it go here, and then we'll talk about the rest in the market update.